Mark Ruffalo is a perfect example of why I cannot stand Hollywood. So he's running around telling people what they need to do with their lives again and why certain things are good. And I'm going to get into it and show you some examples because I think out of all the celebrities, for some reason, I find him the most annoying because he tries to act like he's some kind of genius. And I'm here to tell you he is not. In fact, most people in Hollywood are quite dumb. Most of them are just puppets, which is what he is. He's a political puppet. Any chance that he has to prop himself up as some kind of spokesperson for the Democratic Party, he will jump to the chance to do it. I can't stand him. So now he's running around talking about a pipeline. I think it's a Canadian pipeline, the Coastal GasLink pipeline. And he's threatening a Hollywood boycott over it. I didn't know he was the leader of Hollywood, but apparently he is. This isn't the main thing that I wanted to talk about. What really annoyed me was this, him saying that the Ukraine war is a gift for clean energy efforts to the Biden administration. And he's saying we need to push now for this and have clean energy independence. And I'm all for energy independence. What I'm not for is some jackass celebrity running around telling me that I need to do this and that. I find this push for electric cars, too, really funny, which he has been behind before. Oh, just get an electric car, you poor. Electric cars are very expensive. I've done a video on this, looking at the prices, especially if you've got a family. So you would need at least a 4-door car. If you have a family, you need to be able to put your children in the back. You can't put them in the front. So how many people with a bunch of kids can just run out and afford to buy an electric car that big? They're pretty expensive. Despite the tax breaks, I'm sorry, they're very expensive. So, these people that are very rich and spoiled, they think that everyone can just run out and get a damn new car. And it just doesn't work like that. But Mark Ruffalo, he doesn't seem to understand this because he's a fucking moron. Now, what I find really funny about this is him talking about nuclear power. So there's a video right here where he's talking to this woman. I don't know who she is. She works at MSNBC. And he talks about how nuclear energy is very expensive and very dangerous. First off, I'm no expert in nuclear energy. But I do know that it's very cheap. And sure, it's a little dangerous if it's cheaply made and gets hit with a natural disaster. But Japan runs on a lot of nuclear energy. And for the most part, they've been pretty okay. We actually have a lot of nuclear power plants all over the place, but we have a lot of propagandists who go after them. They're very effective. And it's probably one of the best energy choices out there. But you've got Mark Ruffalo running around like he's a nuclear expert, which is not the case. He's not an expert in anything, maybe in lying because he's an adult pretender. He's an actor. So it's very curious. Okay, Mr. Nuclear Energy expert, what kind of education background does Mark Ruffalo have? So I went and looked. He doesn't have any. He went to adult pretend school, Stella Adler Conservatory. It's an acting school. That's it. And he was a bartender and co-founded some theater company, and that's it. But if you Google him, Mark Ruffalo education, a high school, and a studio of acting. But people are actually asking. People also ask, how many PhDs does Mark Ruffalo have? Is Mark Ruffalo an actual scientist? People are think he's like some kind of genius, and he's not. He's just another adult pretender that took pretend classes for an education. But I'm supposed to listen to you on nuclear energy? Shut the up, Mark Ruffalo. Everything that I cannot stand about Hollywood, you can sum up in this man right here. Because he runs around acting like he's some kind of genius, telling people how they need to live their lives. Oh, you need to go out and buy a brand new vehicle. Struggling family. How many people are struggling right now? Mark Ruffalo don't give a shit. It's your fault that you can't afford gas. You need to go buy a new car. That minivan that only costs around $30,000. Now you need to get the $50,000 through $70,000 electric vehicle. Broke, poor people. Like, it's just a joke. And he really embodies everything I just cannot stand. He really does. And I was so irritated by this comment from him on nuclear energy. And you've got him up here on a mainstream news site, like sprouting that shit off and not even being challenged on it. That's the real joke, because he's an idiot. He doesn't know anything. Most of these people in Hollywood are morons. They exist to entertain and dance like monkeys. And this guy is the greatest example of that. Doesn't know anything about nuclear power. And I'm not saying that I do, but I do know that it's not expensive. It's actually very cheap. Very dangerous. I mean, how many nuclear power plants have melted down over the past couple of decades? A few, right? Not that many. And most of the times, it's due to some act of God or stupidity and cheapness if you look at the Soviet Union. So, shut up, Mark. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. They're usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.